Hello everyone, welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Before we get to the video, I'd like to thank you all for your support and remind you that we're doing a jersey giveaway when we hit 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers is our goal to reach by the end of this month, so make sure you subscribe, stay subscribed, follow me on Twitter at MLS Moves for the latest updates on the giveaway. Now, on to the video. So we had a pretty interesting Week 10 in MLS. There was a lot of good games, and the first game we're going to start off with is the LA Galaxy versus Austin FC. Now, the Galaxy looked a little out of sync today, kind of sloppy, kind of looked a little lethargic in this game. They kind of looked like they were checked out. They had a couple of chances, but they couldn't finish anything. Joveljic ended up not playing in the game because he had pulled a hamstring before the match or a couple days ago, so he didn't start. Had Miguel Berry start up top. Miguel Berry has only scored like one goal in 44 matches, so losing Joveljic was a huge loss before the game, especially after his hot streak and how good he had been. Paintsel kind of had a so-so game, really wasn't as good as he had been or we'd seen previously. Ricky Puig was pretty good. He actually had picked up a yellow card in this game, which means he's going to miss his next match against the Seattle Sounders next Saturday, which is going to be a huge loss for the Galaxy because, as everybody knows who watches the team, Ricky Puig is the most important and integral player for the LA Galaxy. So without him, it will be very interesting to see what happens and how big of a loss that's going to be. Gabriel Peck showed his quality numerous times throughout this game, the pace, the dribbling. He wasn't able to convert, but you see the flashes of brilliance there. It's inevitable that he's going to, start contributing and scoring goals and setting up goals. His talent's limitless. I'm very excited to see what he ends up doing the remainder of the season. As far as Austin FC, they've went on sort of a win streak as of late. Josh Wolf looks like he's finally revitalized his team after having a huge slump last year that carried on into this year. They're actually on a 2-game winning streak, beating the Houston Dynamo last week and LA Galaxy this week. Diego Rubio had a decent game. He scored a goal. Driussi had a pretty decent game. He had a down year last year as well. He kind of resembled some of his classic self today. They played really tight, didn't concede a goal, looked very solid. Rigoni had a very nice game. It'll be interesting to see if this team's able to keep it up or if this is just kind of like a spurt. There's been a lot of pressure on Josh Wolf because of the downfall that this team has had after finishing second in the West a couple years back. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to continue the success. Now, the next game is FC Cincinnati versus the Colorado Rapids. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but Lucho Acosta has a new hairstyle. New hairstyle, same MVP. I mean, this guy was absolutely cooking in this game. He is just such a fun player to watch. He sets up he creates so many chances. He is just everywhere. I feel like I'm always seeing him. Not to forget, I always have to mention this, TQL Stadium is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's arguably the best looking stadium in MLS. Every time I see it, I'm mesmerized by how cool it looks. It is probably the closest looking European-style stadium in MLS, and I just can't wait to visit that one day. It looks incredible. But anyway, back to the game. Lucho Acosta scored a goal, absolutely beautiful goal, and then Corey Baird had a beautiful chip. I mean, it was insane. The team is playing very well, and they've got pieces missing, or they've got some pieces that are yet to come in, like Kelsey from like the Venezuelan striker Kelsey, who's supposed to be coming soon. It'd be interesting to see how much better they get. They haven't had a true replacement for Brandon Vasquez, and Bupenza has obviously been disappointing thus far. So, this is a team that is going to be very scary. They look very good today. And I also want to talk about the Rapids. Now, the Rapids did lose this game, but the Rapids have looked very good this year. Chris Armas is a coach that I was very skeptical of because I'm not sold on him. He's had 2 bad stints in a row with the Red Bulls and Toronto FC, but he's actually done very well this season, and they've been competing. I mean, this is their first loss since last month, and Jordi Mihalovic has looked so good. I mean, he looks like he might even look better than his Montreal self a couple years back. He has been one of the most underrated players in MLS this season. I honestly was not sold on signing him as a designated player, but I feel like he has lived up to that tag. He has been playing very well, and, he's killing it this year. I mean, he's doing very good. Colorado has been one of the most improved, if not the most improved club in MLS this season. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do down the stretch and see if they're able to make the playoffs. And then next we have Miami versus New England Revolution. This game was sold out, had 65,000 fans. There's a couple injuries for Inter Miami, like Jordi Alba. Diego Gomez is still out, obviously. And then Luis Suarez started off on the bench, but it didn't even matter. I mean, Messi scored 2 goals in this game, and he looks like he is in his best form since possibly Leagues Cup. I mean, he is absolutely finessing right now. He looks incredible. This team is rolling even with all the injuries. They're still playing very, very well. Messi has 9 goals and like 7 assists this season. Now, in MLS, they kind of count it as a hockey assist. So it's not like a direct pass. It's a pass to a pass. Technically counts as a assist. So Messi really only has 3 legit assists, but in MLS assists, he's got like 7. So Messi has 16 goal contributions this season, which is insane. It'll be interesting to see if he breaks Carlos Vela's record of 34 goals and 15 assists that he set in 2019. I mean, this team is just rolling right now. It's scary. I mean, when they get fully healthy and add these pieces back like Redondo, Gomez, Alba, Kramaski gets back in form. I mean, they've got insane depth. They're very fun to watch. They're just a good team. They're a really good team. And, Luis Suarez, with Messi's recent success, you kind of forget about how good Luis Suarez has been this year. He scored a beautiful goal today as well. Now he's got 7 goals. So him and Messi have 16 goals between the pair this season, which is incredible. I mean, I think anybody would have taken that number before the season had started. And, New England Revolution, they continue to struggle. They obviously had an incident today where a couple players had food poisoning, so they had like 5 or 6 players out today. I think they said they only had 15 players total, including their bench. But, I mean, this club has just been dreadful all season long. They're the worst. They're arguably the worst team in the Major League Soccer this season. They just can't catch a break. Caleb Porter's a good manager, but this team just has a lot of issues. Carlos Gil is a good player, but he can't do it on his own. They desperately miss Gustavo Bo. They desperately miss Adam Butska. They haven't replaced those guys. And by the way, today during the broadcast, Taylor Twellman and Jake Zevin had pronounced Tomas Chocolat. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen I Love You, Man, but there's a scene where Paul Rudd is pronouncing this movie that Johnny Depp's in called Chocolat. And Jason Segel says chocolate. So I thought that was funny. Every time they mentioned that during the game, I just kept thinking of that movie that part in the movie where they say chocolat. And I mean, that's exactly what it sounded like. It was very funny. I actually tweeted at him and said that to him, and they both responded to it and thought it was funny as well. But moving on to the other games, we had RSL beat Philadelphia Union 2-1. Chicho Arango continues his hot streak with an assist. He's in serious contention for the MVP award. Toronto FC finally gets a win, coming back and beating Orlando City SC 2-1. Red Bulls and Vancouver Whitecaps, 2 very good teams from each conference, ends in a draw at 1-1. Columbus Crew and Montreal, Wilfred Nancy reunion, ends in a 0-0 draw. New York City FC continues their hot streak, winning 2-1 against Charlotte FC. DC United beats the Seattle Sounders 2-1. Christian Benteke is having a great season. Seattle Sounders continue to fail. Brian Schmetzer possibly on his way out. I don't know. Not looking very good right now. Minnesota United beats Sporting Kansas City 2-1. FC Dallas finally gets a win in their column after a while, winning 2-0. Peter Musa scores finally. Chicago Fire and Atlanta United ended in a 0-0 draw. Nashville SC and San Jose ended in a 1-1 draw. And then LAFC beat the Portland Timbers 3-2 with Denny Bouanga scoring an absolutely incredible goal to win the game. He is the LAFC savior. What a great finish for MLS After Dark. Just a crazy game. Probably the craziest game of the weekend, honestly. So let me know in the comment section, what are your takeaways from this weekend? What was your favorite game? Who were you impressed with? What was your favorite goal? I would have to say my favorite goal was probably the one by Denny Bouanga, even though the Hani Mukhtar rocket was pretty crazy. It's going to be a close one. Let me know what your guys' biggest takeaways was and what your favorite goals were. Also, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. And until next time, I will see you all soon.